Hi. I'm making muffins for my tomorrow morning parenting group. And typically this is how it starts. I always have two bowls. One for the wet and then one for the dry. I usually just throw in a little bit of whole wheat flour, a bit of white flour. I need my whisk. Whisk it together. I'm gonna grab some baking. Typically in muffins, you put both. I would put some, like a teaspoon of, what is this, baking soda, and then a teaspoon of baking powder. If I was just doing cookies, I think I would just only use baking powder. It helps rise them. That's about it. You don't really want fluffy cookies, so that's why you typically don't add both of them. So stir that up. I think what I was thinking was a chocolate spinach muffin. So I have to get the spinach. The spinach is gonna go bad, that's why I definitely need to use it up. So we're gonna blend it. It's gonna be part of our dry, or part of the wet ingredients. Esther in the kitchen. So, okay, so I just have to decide what I want to blend it with. I think we have some buttermilk, which makes a really good muffin, so I might actually just blend the spinach with the buttermilk. I don't normally talk to myself when baking, but this is the process that I do. So, I'm gonna stuff it in there. The reason why I'm adding spinach is to increase the nutrients in this muffin. Here's the buttermilk. Yes, and we do have buttermilk in our fridge typically, always, because we use it in our the pancakes that we make. So buttermilk is super awesome. It's not butter, as you might think. It's actually just 1% fat, so it's pretty lean in terms of the liquid. So I'm gonna blend this up and see if I can add more spinach to it as I go. I don't want to add too much because it'll definitely make it. You want to get all the bits out. People don't like to find green bits in their muffins. They think it's weird, but it can be included. I really don't care if there's green bits in my muffin, but this is for other people too. Okay. So that's just a liquid. Very liquidy. Before I add that in, I'm going to throw in some eggs. As a rule, this is just what I do. Per batch of muffins, I use 2 eggs. When I make cookies, I use 1. I find the eggs are what help make it fluffy. Sometimes you don't even need to add eggs when you're making cookies, so. I don't know if you can see this, but a little piece of the, this is actually kind of neat because you can use the skin as the shell as a magnet. So if you drop a piece, you don't have to dig in with your fingers. You actually just use the egg, the shell itself, to scoop out the thing. And always break your eggs on a hard surface. That way you don't get anything. The way that it comes out, it breaks a little bit more evenly. So, anyways, the oven's on at 350. I'm gonna mix this up. I'm thinking about what I want to add for sweetness. If I want it to be banana, I know my husband won't eat it, but other people will eat it. Banana's a really good sweetener. But what I'm also thinking about is that I do have a lot of liquid, so I don't necessarily want to add too much liquid to this. So I will use a bit of banana, because I think banana and chocolate are best friends. I keep my bananas frozen in the freezer because I use a lot of them, and my kids like to eat half a banana. They don't typically eat the whole thing. So bananas in the microwave for a minute. Now, since that's not going to be enough sweetness, I'm going to open up a package of coconut sap. Coconut sap is a natural sweetener. It comes from the little saplings of, or the, yeah, well, little saplings of the coconut blossoms from the coconut tree. So it is really sweet, kind of looks like a brown sugar. I could measure, I'm just going to guesstimate. I'm going to try to put in about 2 tablespoons. I'll try not to put big chunks in there. Usually that's like 1 blob. 2 blobs, and that's probably about 2 tablespoons. Less than 1/4 cup. Really, you don't, especially with the banana, you're not going to need much in there. So you may recognize, you probably do this with your own muffins anyways. You do the eggs with the sugar first, because you want to mix in all that sugar. You're going to have to add some oil, not a lot. I don't typically add a lot of oil, especially when I'm adding vegetables, because it adds moisture, but that's a good tablespoon, if not a little bit more. I don't measure anything, I'm sorry. So, those are the frozen bananas in the microwave for a minute. Mush them up. Add them to the mix. One of the things you got to be careful about is if you heat your bananas up too much, it will actually cook your egg white, or your eggs. I learned that the hard way. Okay, so green goo is going in. Now this is the thing, when I use green, I typically always use chocolate, because it, a green muffin is cool for, you know, parties and stuff, but not always that popular. So, cover up the green with the cocoa powder. Where did I put the cocoa powder now? I just refilled it. I just cleaned my cupboard and now I can't remember where I put them. Oh, vanilla. Where's my vanilla? There it is. Vanilla's always a good one to add. Okay. You have to get real vanilla extract. It makes all the difference in the world when you're baking. It means you don't have to add as much sugar because it's got real flavor. So, you know, just throw some in. You don't need to overkill, especially because it's the real stuff. Okay, I'm gonna throw in some cocoa powder, see what color I get. Next. Okay, so, I mean, that's a lot. Like, I'm adding clearly more than 1/4 cup because I like chocolatey muffins. And cocoa powder is high in antioxidants, which is good for you. We can get this all mixed in here. Once I get this mixed in, doesn't want to mix it. Alright, I'm going to add my oatmeal, and the reason why I add my oatmeal is because I put buttermilk in here, so it's going to help puff up my muffins a little bit more. So Rogers Oats, this is my favorite. Okay, you can show the Rogers Oats because they're by far the best. It's got flaxseed in it. Wheat bran adds protein. It's totally an awesome combo. I eat it for breakfast too, every morning, except for pancake Sundays. So that's our dry, and while I'm doing that, I'm kind of, because I haven't measured anything, so I'm taking a look at my flour, and I'm trying to figure out if I have enough flour, if I've got enough flour in there to make this into the consistency that I need. That's the part of this baking process that is kind of intuitive. I think I'm actually gonna add some coconut to this. Coconut adds some really amazing flavor. I use always unsweetened coconut. It's high in calories, but it's got protein in it, so why not? Just gonna throw some in. These would make really good cookies, actually. If you added, I just made cookies that sort of started like this without the spinach, and I added lots of oatmeal and bigger coconut bits, and they came out almost like a macaroon. So you've got, this is runny. Okay, now you remember, if you wanted to make this a cookie, you would have to add a whole lot more oatmeal to that, because you want a stronger texture, stronger, something thicker. Anyway, so here's my flour. I'm gonna add it in. My oven beeped, didn't it? Okay, so this is the key. You do not ever want to over mix your muffin batter, or you will end up with little muffin hockey pucks. So basically give it like the minimum amount of stirring, kind of folding it. Like you're not doing the egg beater thing in this. You're not taking out your machines. There's no, you know, you're just gently folding it so that there's no clumps of, you know, flour. Now take a look at that. It's chocolatey. It's not green. You might see a couple little flecks, but remember, when you cook spinach, it's going to shrivel up anyways, because it's going to lose its moisture. It's going to add the moisture to the batter. So that's it. All right, I'm just stuffing my muffin tins here. I sprayed it with the Pam. Eventually, I'm going to kind of just buy my own bottles and be a little more natural, because I think they add some types of gas. Obviously they added gas and preservatives, so these will rise a bit, but you got to remember, when you're adding so many like dense foods, they won't actually rise that much. So yeah, so I'm just gonna actually add the rest of this stuff to this. So this batch is gonna make, you know, not that many muffins, but they will be big muffins. I mean, that's part of the problem with, you know, making up your own recipes, and because you'll never know how many you're gonna make. So sometimes I find it safer to just use, if I need to make for a lot of there you go, that's about it. They kind of, I mean, they look good right now. I'm gonna put them on the shelf. Those will probably take about 25. What are you looking at? Oh, 350. This will probably take around 20. We'll put them for 23 minutes, and then we'll see. Right? You just have to, you know, when it beeps, just push on the top of it. If your finger sinks in, it's not ready. If it pushes back against your finger, then okay. So the muffins just came out. See, they did puff up quite nicely. I was just checking here. I don't think they're ready to come out yet. They do need to cool, like usually a couple of seconds before they pop out. They'll still keep cooking a little bit because they're still so hot, so that's why it's almost okay to take them out earlier. Besides, you get a nice moist muffin wrap. So here we go. Not green spinach muffins with oatmeal buttermilk. I don't think we really put, oh, coconut. That was about it. So these are my muffins for tomorrow. So just me signing off.